Ah, yes, everybody has this much fun when they're looking for a new car. There are plenty of free calculators online that help you estimate your loan payments. But what happens when the internet goes out? Uh-oh, I bet you feel like this guy when the internet goes out. But don't worry, you can just pull out your cell phone and use the calculator app. Let's give it a shot. Here we have a few cars that we're going to use for examples on how we can get our monthly loan payments. The numbers that we used here were calculated in a free online calculator, so we didn't have to do any math. It was just plug in the numbers and there you go. Please feel free to pause the video so that you can write down the principal amounts so we can go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and use the matrix for our example. The principal on that car was $12,000. In order to get the estimated monthly payment, we're going to go ahead and cut the principal in half and multiply that by the rate. So we're going to go ahead and cut the 12,000 into 6 and multiply it by 0.019, and then we're going to multiply that by the time, which was 5 years, and that gives us 570. So we're going to go ahead and add that 570 to the whole principal, which was the 12,000, and we're going to go ahead and divide that by 60 months because that was the payment term, and what we get is 209.50. So now that we've done the first car and we have a better understanding of how we can work out this problem to find our estimated payments, let's go ahead and try the rest of them. Let's go to the Toyota Camry. And again, we can see that that payment, the principal was $14,000 with a percentage rate of 4.75 over a period of 3 years. So if we do what we did before, we'll cut the 14,000 in half. We'll make it a 7,000. And we're going to go ahead and multiply that by 0.0475. And then we're going to multiply that by 3 years. And we end up coming out to $997.50. So if we do the $997.50 and we add it to the 14,000 original principal and divide that by the 36 months, we get $416.60. So as you can see, again, we've been able to find our estimated monthly payment with the Toyota Camry as well as the Matrix. So if we continue to use that same equation for the rest of the vehicles, we will be able to find the monthly payments on each one. So if we go down to the Toyota Sienna and we cut the principal in half to 7,000 and we multiply that by 0.019 and multiply that by the time of 2 years, we end up coming up with 266. So if we add that 266 to the 14,000 principal and divide it by 24 monthly payments, we come up with 594.41. Again, if we come down to the Mazda at $58,000, we're going to go ahead and cut that right in half. 29,000 and multiply it by the 3.6%, convert that to 0.036, multiply that by 6 years, and we come up with 6,264 in interest. We're going to add that to the original principal amount of 58,000 and divide it by the term of 72 months, and we end up getting 892.56. And lastly, we get down to the Mercedes S-Class, principal of $92,000. Again, we're just going to cut that in half down to 46,000 and multiply it by the rate of 3.9%, convert it to 0.039 and multiply it by 5 years. And we end up coming up with 8,970 in interest. We're going to go ahead and add that to the principal of $92,000 and divide that by the term of 60 months, and we come up with $1,682.83 for the monthly estimated payment. As you can see, when it comes down to the online calculator versus our estimated payments, they were pretty close. The matrix was only a couple of cents off. As you notice, though, the more expensive the car gets, the further the difference becomes. So again, if you look at the matrix, we came in at $209.50 for our estimate, and the actual payment was $209.81. But then when we come down and look at the Mercedes, we got $1,682.83, and the actual payment was $1,690.17. So when it comes to the lower amounts, the process that we did seems to work pretty well, but the more expensive the vehicle goes, the higher in difference, and becomes less reliable if you take that into consideration. So definitely overall very reliable. You can get your monthly payments pretty reasonably close, and I don't see you having any issues with getting general payments with this process.